Welcome to I Scream, You Scream. We are your weekly scoop of the most chilling histories, mysteries, and paranormal perplexities. My name is Kathryn.
I'm Gina.
And this is a palate cleanser episode. Just for any new listeners out there, the way it works is every month we tell stories pertaining to one particular topic while we eat a specific flavor of ice cream. This past month has been amusement parks while we ate churro ice cream. But this is a fifth Tuesday, which means we just talk about whatever the hell we want while we drink alcohol, or whatever we want to drink, but 'tis usually alcohol. This episode is sponsored by Clobear Money Coach. If you're ready to start investing but unsure exactly how to get started, visit getlazynow.com. But until then, grab a spoon or glass. Grab a glass. And let's dig in. Cheers.
Delicious. Cheers. The vibe of us both drinking red wine, I very much appreciate.
It's a red wine vibe day. These glasses were a birthday present from my brother. They're Halloween glasses that are going to be all the time glasses. And there's a little like bat in here. So when I finish, you can like see the little bat. Yeah, there's bats and either, I don't know what the other ones are. They're either pumpkins or ghosts, but there's like a 2 and 2. So yeah, there will be a little bat in here.
Cute. I like that. There's nothing interesting in my glass other than wine.
Nice. I forgot to tell people what this episode actually will be. We'll be drinking wine, and we're telling summer ghost stories. I forgot to say that we found on Reddit. I should say summer-themed spooky stories. I don't know if they're all ghost-related, but speaking for myself, mine are all ghost-related. But before that, we do have some housekeeping. Many moons ago, not that long, but it feels that long ago, you asked me a very important question that I never gave you an answer to. And that was what was the exact question?
Just
I'm going to butcher it. What was it? It was something
it was something like I might get this wrong. You are being hunted for 24 hours
I remember
straight.
The word hunting. Yes.
Yeah, like you are being chased, you are being hunted. Your only ally is like a life-sized version of a cereal mascot. Who are you picking?
Who are you picking? And you picked, brilliantly so, Count Chocula, correct?
Yeah, no one can fuck with vampires.
I have thought long and hard about this. I truly have needed this whole time to make my decision. I narrowed it down to a couple, but I had my Libra hat on and took this full, month or two to make my final decision. And I have chosen Snap, Crackle, and Pop from Rice Krispie Treats.
Oh, you get an army. Okay.
I get an army, and specifically due to the fact that I like to think those are not just their names, but what they do to human bones should be too.
Those are the sounds of them snap, crackling, and popping femurs.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my official answer.
That's
Sorry
good. Now, the question is, between Count Chocula and Snap, Crackle, and Pop, I mean, that's like a would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized or whatever, you know what I mean?
I was just thinking that. You know, the real answer is Snap, Crackle, and Pop would just be Count Chocula's, like, flunkies.
I do like that.
Like, they're his Igors or whatever. Yeah.
There's 3 of them, and they're tiny.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like that a lot. I like this world that we're building for ourselves.
Me
that
too.
Would be. I would read that novel, 100%.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
There was another question that we asked, I think, in the last episode that I would love to discuss with you, because I've been thinking about this nonstop. When you become a ghost, what do you want your ghost to smell like?
So this one, this is a cop-out, but I feel like this is something I need someone to tell me. Like, when I haunt you, what do you expect to smell? Like, what scent reminds you of me? But I also wouldn't be able to answer that for you, I don't think, so I'm not putting this pressure on you.
I do have an answer, but I don't have a reason for it. It's just a vibe.
Oh, okay. What is it?
Like rosemary? Like the scent of fresh rosemary? Yeah, like fresh, like when you go out and like rub your fingers on a plant and smell it, like, yeah.
Oh my God, that's so nice. That's
very
the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. I love the scent of rosemary.
Homey and lovely and comforting. It's a good smell.
Oh, I love that. I would not have thought of that, which is so funny because that is what I use instead of sage. I'm like constantly burning rosemary. Yeah.
I I need to try
I
that.
have seeds in a pot on the deck, and they've taken forever to sprout, but they finally did this morning. And I'm so relieved. I was so sad that they were not sprouting. I've been like waking up and going outside to check the rosemary, and every morning I'm just like, oh,
Oh, what a good
Mary.
morning that it finally
They
happened.
just sprouted. Yeah, they just sprouted this morning.
Yay.
Oh my God, what a lovely answer. Damn.
It's meant
I
to
wish
be.
I had one for you. I'm so bad at this.
I've been laboring over my answer for forever. But do you have one for yourself?
No, I was gonna like
Okay.
panic answer and then regret it. So let's go with rosemary. That's such a good one. I don't know why I never thought of that. That's such a good one. What's yours for yourself?
So I did go on a bit of a journey, but I ultimately landed on the smell of freshly baked bread.
Stop. Are you kidding me? Literally in this moment, I was like trying to panic think of what yours would be, and I was gonna say a muffin.
Like a baked good, some kind of
But
fresh
no
out of the
specific- yeah.
oven. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no specific baked good, but just like that, not like yeast smell, but bread, like
Yeah.
cakey bread smell.
I noticed it. I love that smell. When we
Yeah.
first started talking about this question and I started thinking about it, my gut instinct was Axe body spray. Because how funny would that be?
So one of the things I thought of for myself, I'm just thinking of all the candles I love. I love like a mahogany tobacco type thing. Like so that's kind of what I was thinking for you too. Like if you smell a grandpa, it's Gina. In
Yes.
here.
Oh my God. I love
Yeah.
that I resonate with that so
Yeah.
hard. I want to smell the way that like a cozy wood paneled library with
Yeah.
comfy armchairs and
Mhm.
a pipe looks.
That does happen. Like every now and then I'll get a whiff of my grandma's bathroom, but not in like a gross way. It's like she had this is my mom's mom. She had some type of wood in her like her cabinetry in her bathroom was so pungent, but it was very much a woody scent. It wasn't
Yeah.
like gross or anything. And every now and then I'll just get a whiff. I'll be like sitting in my office and I'll just get a whiff of that wood.
It'd be funny if it was a Bradford pear.
Girl, don't even get me started. I think that tree is dying. It wasn't that pungent this year. Did I mention that? Did I tell you that?
I don't think you did tell me. You told me that you attacked it with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
But
I did. That was last fall. I was having a real bad day that day. Yeah, my neighbors let us borrow their reciprocal saw, and I just went to town. Oh my God, I had such a great day that day after that was over. But I think I killed it because it didn't bloom very hard this year. We were, I think, out of town. I think it was when I was in New Orleans was when it would have been blooming. So I think I just missed it. But even Phil said he didn't really notice it very much. And now a bunch of the leaves are browning and like falling. I just hope it doesn't fall and like fuck with the electrical because we have electrical wires in our yard. But we'll deal with that later.
Yeah.
Take
the reciprocal saw to the. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't.
Honestly, don't tempt me.
Please don't.
We've had a lot of weird electrical things. Did I tell you about the bird that flew into the electrical box and decapitated itself?
No.
I don't know if it flew into it or if it was nesting in there, but yeah, I was very, very sad. I was very upset.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sucks. Poor bird.
I know. It was super weird. And that was like a week or two after the transformer exploded. God, I feel like I need to
remember
call like We Energies or something. I'm a little like nervous about everything that's going on in my alley. But that was during that storm. That was when that tree fell. My neighbor's tree fell into the thing and it like smushed the other neighbor's garage. Yeah, it was like a whole thing.
What is up with the violence of nature by your house?
Yeah, I know all of this because Phil is one of those guys that like the moment something happens, he's like in the alley talking to everyone, like because he saw it happen. He saw it. He was in the kitchen in the middle of the night and he was like checking on the storm. And so he saw it all happen. So when the fire people came, he was like, I'll take care of this. And he was like out in our alley with all the neighbors until like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was asleep through the whole thing.
There's two types of homeowners.
Girl, I stress him out so bad because I'm just like, it's fine. It'll fix itself. I am the reason homes depreciate. People like me. I'm a horrible homeowner. Oh my God. Thank goodness for Phil. I am like, sorry, I'm getting way off course here, but have you seen those like videos where it's like I'll be with my friends and they're all like complaining about their like deadbeat husbands, and that's when I realize I'm the deadbeat husband.
Yeah.
That's me. I'm the deadbeat husband. Oh my God, I'm fucking useless. That's great. I'm having a great time. My life is wonderful.
Yeah, I don't yet own a home. Nor shall I maybe ever. Who knows? But I am great
Honestly,
at digging holes, so I'll just get in one of those.
do that. It's overrated. It really is. I'm like, you don't really ever own anything. Like, technically the bank owns our home and the government owns our home, and we just pay them to be here if you really want to break it down to what's actually happening, you know?
Yeah, that's fair. Didn't want to be a landed lady anyway. Forget the gentry class.
Yeah, be free.
So we have some stories, don't we?
Yes, we sure do. So I'm pretty sure. I got all of mine from Reddit. This one, the two big ones I got from the just paranormal encounters subreddit. And these are all summer themed. And when I think of summer, I think of summer camp. So all of mine are like camping / hiking related.
Nice.
Okay, so this one is called Saw a Woman Camping and Now Experiencing Things at Home. And that is from user Useful Cow A575.
Cool.
Which I like to think is a custom Reddit name. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's just one of their auto ones, but I'm like hoping that someone was like, this is me.
I want to meet the useless cow. That's my new username.
Okay. So it says, last weekend, my wife and I took our two sons out camping along with my oldest son's girlfriend. We were camping in the woods for a full weekend. It was a fun time, but the last night I woke up with an urge to go check out our surroundings. I felt uneasy. I woke up and noticed my sons weren't in their tents. I started walking and calling their names, and they were on a trail ahead. They also said that they had an urge to come out. My wife and my son's girlfriend were in the tent still, and we were a little ways down the trail, and the water was probably half a mile ahead. We kept walking, just talking now that we were up, and as we got closer to the water, I heard someone talking, very faintly. My sons heard it as well, and as we got closer, there was a young woman, maybe late teens, early 20s, very dirty, and she was crying. She was sitting on the ground next to the water. I told my sons to wait while I went and check it out, and I went up to her to see if she was okay. She looked at me, whispered something that I couldn't understand, and then it was as if I blinked and suddenly she was gone. My sons witnessed the whole thing. I was shaken up along with my sons, unable to explain what we had witnessed. To be honest, I'm a huge skeptic, and I wasn't even sure that I had witnessed anything at all, and I definitely wasn't sure that it was paranormal, even though there was no other way to explain it. We left early the next morning, and there were no signs of anyone else out there with us. I have been having dreams of this girl ever since I saw her. 2 nights after we got back to the house, I felt freezing, even though the temp was set at 75 degrees. Everyone felt it. Our dog was acting really weird, super jumpy, and way less friendly than he usually was. I didn't really think anything of it. I didn't even think that it could be paranormal or related to the girl at all. A few nights after we got back, my wife and I started hearing footsteps in the hallway. Assuming it was the kids, we didn't check at first. Then, when they didn't stop, and it sounded like it was only going up and down the hallway, I checked it out to see what was happening, and no one was there. The footsteps didn't happen for a few more nights, but then later on in the week, they happened again. Then Saturday night, my son's girlfriend woke up and was screaming because she said there was a young girl staring at my son next to his side of the bed. Then suddenly, within seconds, she was gone. Her description matched what we saw at the lake exactly. I've been Googling the area we camped out at and finding nothing that matches what we saw. I've been researching nonstop and have finally come to Reddit looking for advice.
Oh my God.
I have no advice other than just burn it all down.
Yeah, right? Move, leave.
Just move.
Change your name, burn off your
sense.
fingerprints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She followed them, but like, That's weird. I want to know what she whispered. I wish that
Me
he
too.
heard what she whispered and could understand what she whispered, because that seems like an important piece to the story.
Yeah. Or I guess if she is like malevolent, maybe it was like a trick and she wasn't really whispering anything and the intention was to get them to lean in and come closer.
Oh my God, wait, that's so smart. Man, you're going to be such a good ghost. That is so brilliant.
Thank you. I'll trick them into thinking I'm friendly with the bread smell and then
Yeah. Oh my God,
boom, evil.
you're like the grandma. You're the old witch in the woods that lures them in with the scent of
Yes.
fresh bread. Yeah.
The world's nicest poltergeist.
That would make sense though. Maybe she just was sick of being like dirty and wet and cold down at the lake, so she just like needed somewhere to stay. I don't love that she was hovering over the bed though. I don't like that.
That's like a recurring thing that comes up in so many stories, and it scares me equally every time. It never gets less scary or less
It's never
tropey
less
to
scary.
me.
Yeah, because no matter what, I mean, that is the most vulnerable place to be, is asleep in bed and someone is standing over you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was a real human, even if it's someone you know, that's so creepy. Yeah, I don't like that.
Okay, well, no more camping, I guess.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone. Can't go anymore.
Yeah, all of I'm still playing the long game. Just to
Yeah.
get everyone to understand that we should not be camping.
We should totally go camping, and we should ask her what she was whispering.
Yeah, I know. I wish I knew where this was. I don't think he didn't say like what region this was in.
Do you think you might, if you knew a campground was like supposedly very, very haunted, do you think you might camp there? Would that be the exception?
No. Only because
Fair enough.
well, here's the thing. I said this in Lake Shawnee. RV camping, sure.
Mm.
If I have a lockable door and a shuttable window and like one of those RVs where you don't have to get out to drive away,
Mm-hmm.
cool. I'm good. Take me wherever you want to go. But no, definitely no tent camping anywhere haunted for sure.
I wonder if anyone has any haunted RV stories. I don't think I've ever heard one of those.
I've heard some, not like the RV is haunted, but I've heard some where people are camping and they hear like tapping on the window or something on the roof. And this is very much the reason for we need an attached driver's seat and engine.
Okay, yeah.
I need a getaway sleeper car.
Put you in a cannon and shoot you off into the sun. Yeah. Would you like to hear a scary story about someone spending a summer in Italy?
Oh my God, yes, I would love that. Wow, what a
Thank
vibe.
you.
Okay.
Also, Rue has picked up her toy, which is attached to a very long stick.
I hear her. Hello, cutie baby. I'm trying to tamper my reaction to seeing her because Cinnamon just left me alone and fell asleep. And I know if I react too strongly, she'll get jealous and come back to biting my neck. So please know I'm way more excited to see her than I am letting on. I never get to see her.
Yeah, a little fluff ball. Okay. You know what scares me even more than ghosts? My bank account. And especially saving for retirement.
If you feel the same way about your own retirement savings, fret not, little spoons, because we've got something to save you from yourselves.
Our friend of the pod, Chloe, aka Chloe Bear Money Coach, and founder of the Lazy Investors course, is teaching women how to build wealth without turning into a finance bro. If investing feels confusing, overwhelming, or just downright terrifying, download Chloe's free investing guide at getlazynow.com.
It walks you through how to build wealth the lazy way, which I can personally attest to because I've been using her services for many years, and you all know how lazy I like to be. Effort, gross, hate it. If you hate it too, visit getlazynow.com to grab the free investing guide from Chloe Bear Money Coach. That's getlazynow.com.
So this post came from the Ghosts subreddit, and it's from user hippiechicky72.
Love it.
Excellent. It's titled, "This Happened 15 Years Ago, but Haunts Me to This Day." Always a good start.
I know.
All right. In high school, late 2000s, I had saved up all my money from summer jobs to afford a nice trip to Italy where I would study abroad for a bit. Since I paid out of pocket, it was important that I behaved to stay on the trip or I could be expelled and shipped back home early, losing out on the extra money I paid. Anyway, it was boys and girls, separated so we all got assigned roommates and would always be buddied up at each hotel we stopped at. I really liked my roommate and we got along well. After hitting southern Italy, we moved up north heading to Milan. The tour bus we were on got a flat, and after we changed to the spare, we were told we had to stop by a neighboring town to change it to the actual tire it needed. This town was in a tiny rural area where no one had cell reception because of how far out it was. The only access to the outside world was through a huge desktop computer in the concierge of a clearly old building that was repurposed as a hotel. We checked in and began unloading our bags. Now, once we are in our rooms, we're usually locked in with tape. If you break the tape seal, you get sent home for not following rules and sneaking out. So it's already night, and we unpack and are locked in for the night. And my roommate, let's call her Penny, and I noticed a tiny door behind our wardrobe. So we moved it together and we opened the door. Think of Harry Potter's closet room, kind of like that, but the inside was much bigger. Tons of dust inside the room and dark as hell. Using our phones, we found a tiny light switch that we yanked. All of the floor and ceiling and walls inside were painted white, and in the middle of the room was an old hospital gurney from around the 1950s. It had
What?
I know.
Sorry?
Listen to this.
Okay.
It had brown leather straps for both the wrists and for the feet.
No, the fuck it didn't. Okay.
Bye,
What?
Italy.
Casual.
Right? So Penny crawls a bit inside because she's like 6 foot tall, and I'm going in there and she dares me to sit in it, like the gurney. Being the idiot that I am, I do it. Then she straps me in so she can take a picture. The entire time we're laughing, we're cracking up, when the gurney suddenly moves with me on it. I scream, and Penny runs to set me free. And as we exit towards the doorway, we notice that the gurney moves again, violently towards us, and we rush out of the room and seal it with a wardrobe. For the next 3 hours, we hear footsteps and the gurney slam against the tiny door. I couldn't sleep, so I said, fuck it, and we opened our window and we shimmied to the balcony of the second floor to get our friends in the other room so as not to break the seal outside our hotel room door. We tell them what happened, and everyone is spooked. Our teacher hears us making a commotion and rushes over to the room we were in to ask what the noise is all about. We explain in full detail what happened, and Penny is as white as a ghost. She's been quiet this whole time. The teachers don't believe us and threaten to send us home first thing in the morning for our behavior. So I challenged my teacher and told her I will dispute this with the student board unless she goes and sees for herself what's going on. Big Kathryn energy. I love that part of the story.
In my head, as you were saying that, I was like, good for her.
Right? Like, tell me that shit's not haunted.
You have to. Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm blown away by this story.
It's
what
so
the hell?
scary.
3 hours?
3 hours in a room that like you can't open the door because you'll get in trouble. That's terrifying.
Girl, I would have gone straight to that teacher and been like, bitch, get off. There's shit happening. We're not safe here.
So this teacher, she went to the room, and after 2 minutes, she returned and said we could stay in the room with the others. Her face was a mixture of horrified and confused. Upon checkout, we asked about the room, and the innkeepers acted confused, saying they didn't know what we were talking about. The teachers refused to speak about the incident with us, and the rest of the trip was a blur, seeing as how Penny and I couldn't sleep at night the days after that. I've seen a lot of personal write-ins here and thought I would share my story. To this day, the hair on my neck stands just thinking about it. I don't wish that upon anyone.
Oh my God. That's one of those stories that I almost don't believe. I
Mm-hmm.
do believe it, but I can't like wrap my head around it is a better way of describing it. Like 3 hours is an outrageous amount of time for
I think
that type of thing.
that's why it feels almost unbelievable to me. It's because like that, it feels
Exactly.
like this was taken out of a horror movie. Like that, this feels like something that someone would write creatively, you know?
You know what it reminds me of? Have you ever read the book? I think it's pronounced Diavola.
No, but there's a pizza place that does a Diavola pizza near me.
Okay, that
What
sounds
what is all
yummy.
that about?
That sounds like something I would like.
What is
Is there like?
Diavola?
Well, hold on. Let's get back to the pizza real quick, just for a second.
I'm pretty sure it's a spicy one because Tom.
I was
I
gonna
think
say,
it
it
has
sounds
like
there's probably
andouille.
spicy pepperoni or something on it.
Yeah, I think it's spicy
Yeah,
pepperoni and andouille, maybe onions. Yeah, it's
that sounds good.
Tom's
That's
Tom's
like
order.
exactly what I want. Yeah, add some like jalapenos, and that's my absolute favorite type of pizza. Anyway,
So what's this book?
So this book, it's about. I can't remember the exact storyline, but it's like this woman goes on this family trip to Italy. Spooky shit ensues, but it's my favorite genre of horror, which is, are there ghosts or is she crazy?
Oh,
Love it.
okay.
That's my favorite brand. It's also got like that like religious horror mix in because
Mm.
of Italy is all like Catholic and all that. Like very like it's good. It's one of those books. I rated it a 3 because it pissed me off so bad after I read it. It was very frustrating. But it is also a book that has stayed with me and I recommend it every chance I get. So it's definitely a higher
Interesting.
rating than 3, but it's one of those books that I was so frustrated by it, but in the way that that was the goal of the book. Like it was a frustrating story because it's like no one's believing her that things are happening. It's very good and I need to go back and re-rate it because it is higher than a 3. I don't know. Yeah, I was just being sassy when I
But
rated it.
sometimes
It
you
is
don't
very good.
realize until a story sticks
Yep.
with you. Yeah.
I know. I've had so many 5-star reads that I'm like, this is a 2. And then 6 months later, I'm like, this is actually one of my top 5s of the year. And that's one of them. It's a very good book. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I need to add it to my list. I've always been in the long list of things that terrify me. Like medical horror stuff is very far. Like, what's that?
Oh, for
Like
sure.
Shutter Island terrified me. There's some
Yeah.
video game about an asylum. I think it's like Before Dawn, maybe After Dawn. I can't remember what it's called. That terrified. Like anything having to do with medical anything, I think is so scary.
Shutter Island is one of my favorite examples. This is such a tangent. I'm so sorry. But it's one of my favorite examples of how like marketing can make or break. It's such an important piece of how people like consume a story because the only thing keeping that from being considered a horror movie is the fact that the people marketing it said it was a thriller.
And that's why I
Like,
watched it because it was marketed as
yeah,
I would never have watched it if it was marketed as a horror. And
yeah,
I love that movie.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think we've talked about this. I think there is a line of like thrillers, you have to give people answers. Horror,
Mm.
you don't have to give people answers. I would argue you don't definitively get an answer at the end of that story.
You
kind
get
of do.
an answer, but not the real answer. Like it's not the answer to the
You
question
don't.
you've been asking the whole time.
Right. Anyway,
That's a really
yeah.
good. That's a good way to like. I can't remember if you've told me that like rule between thriller and horror before, but that's really good.
I don't know. I also don't know if it's a rule. It's just the way I describe
I like
it.
it.
It feels
dig it.
right, though.
That does
right?
feel right. Yeah.
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 Ice cream @gmail.com. Is that a rule? Did I
We're
just make
correct,
that up?
right?
Is that a thing? Right.
If you think we're right, ice cream @gmail.com.
And if you think we're wrong, okay. So, story number what? 3? Okay. So this one is titled A Figure in a Camp Cabin. And this one is from Silk Notes. This was one of my first experiences with the paranormal that I can confidently say was not just a trick of the mind, and it's the only time I've ever seen something so clearly. Back when I was in middle school, we had a school trip over one weekend to a camp. The class was it was not spitting. Okay.
The class spit on the camp.
The class was split up to have a cabin for the boys and a cabin for the girls. The layout of the girls' cabin was an open main room when you first come inside, with 2 bunk beds on the left, with a single bed between them, and a closed-off small room in the right corner for the teachers to sleep in. There were then bathrooms to the right and a long room to the left where there were 2 rows of more bunk beds. The rest of the girls filled up that long room, so my friend group got to use the beds in the open room, with me being in one of the bottom bunks. The first night went as you'd expect, staying up late, laughing and messing around, then passing out for the whole night. The second night was a bit different. We were all asleep by midnight, but I ended up waking up sometime later. I used my flip phone to check the time, and it wasn't long after 2 a.m. I sat up a bit to stretch and turn over in bed, away from the wall. But once I was almost completely turned over onto my other side, I froze. I could see someone standing in the middle of the open room. It was a boy, pale with short blonde hair, wearing a simple t-shirt and shorts. He stood in the middle of the girls' cabin, just staring at me. The moonlight from the window between the bunk beds gave me a good view of him, and he looked like just any random kid that you would see at camp, except he had no eyes.
Oh!
Yeah, that's a big difference.
Yeah, okay. All right. Cool.
There were just black voids where his eye sockets should be. Even still, I can only describe it as he was just staring at me. And so I stared back. Sorry.
Bold. Oh my God.
I
Badass.
People are crazy. I love it. So I stared back. I must have stared at him for a good 15 seconds before I started to slowly reach for the small flashlight I kept next to my phone on the bed. I never looked away from him as I brought the flashlight up and turned it on. The room was suddenly bright and the boy was nowhere to be found. I turned the light back off soon after, not wanting to wake anyone, but I heard my friend on the bunk above me speak up. She simply asked, "Did you see him too?" Oh, I just got chills. I just literally got full body chills.
I love it. Did you see that too?
Oh my God, me too. So validating. And I replied, "Yeah," before turning back over to sleep, facing the wall again.
This person is so brave. What the hell?
Right? It says, I took a while to fall back asleep, but I managed. At least we were heading back home that day. I just can't believe this person's just like, yep, and just rolls the fuck back over. I would never turn my back to that.
No. And to be like,
not.
At least I'm going home today. Like, I'm going home now.
Right?
What are you talking about? I'm out of there immediately.
Genuinely unbelievable. And the fact that they turned a light on this person or ghost or whatever, I don't know, man. That's brave.
Yeah. And just the standing there. It's like we were talking about with the standing over people as they sleep.
Yes.
That is
And
so,
they're in the
it's
bottom
so
bunk. It would be
nefarious.
a way different vibe if they were on the top bunk. Like, not better necessarily, but at least there's an amount of like, there is an added obstacle for you to come get me. You know,
more of a hassle. There is like, especially as a kid, there's an amount of security that comes with being on the top bunk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. No. Okay, so is that a black-eyed kid story?
I don't know, because it feels like it is, but there's a whole thing about needing to like invite them in and like maybe I would maybe consider it that, but it could also just be a very spooky ghost. You know what I mean?
We can start a rumor that maybe
so
one of the previous people who like occupied the cabin invited them in and they never left.
Oh.
And now they just sit there and watch.
Yeah. That's possible. Like they thought it was one of the boys from the boys' cabin or something. Yeah. And now he's just able to come whenever he wants. Yeah, maybe.
I know why. This is reminding me of I went to like a summer camp one time with my Girl Scout troop, and it was a similar, like we rented a cabin kind of thing. And one morning we woke up and the like troop leaders or whatever they're called were like, okay, we're going to teach you girls how to find your own breakfast in the woods. And so I thought like, we're going to learn how to forage or fish or something. That's going to be super cool. No, they got string and they tied a bunch of bananas to a tree. And then we had to cut the bananas down.
And therein lies the difference between Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts.
Yep.
There you go. Yeah, I was traumatized at my Girl Scout camp because one of the girls was hiding snacks under her cot and the raccoons came into my tent and I have an overactive imagination, as I've always been told. And so I was imagining these like horrible grizzled like monsters coming in and like I was imagining them eating her, not the snacks. So it was like we had tents, but then there was a main cabin that was like each row of tents had their own like home. That's where like the bathrooms were and where you were like supposed to keep your snacks. And so after they left, I woke up my bathroom buddy and told her that there were monsters in the woods that were coming to get us. And so we went and hid out in the cabin and we ate all of the sour Skittles that the one girl who was mean to us had in her cubby.
Hey, I mean, it's survival. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do.
And that was the first time I ever hallucinated ever in my life because I was so... Let me explain myself. Hold on. I was so sleep deprived because we were like, it's fine. We'll just stay up all night. Well, we were growing girls, so that was not a good choice. So I was sitting there eating Skittles and I was looking out and there were like street lamp type things sprinkled throughout the camp. And I was looking at one and the leaves were blowing in front of it. And all of a sudden I saw this family of monkeys and that Lion King song, a Wimbawa, a Wimbawa, a Wimbawa, started playing in my head. And I just remember being like, hey, are you seeing this? She was like, what? What are you talking about? I was like, the monkeys, they're all
the monkeys, God!
The monkeys, do you see them? They're everywhere. Yeah, that was a really rough night. I wrote a story about how traumatized I was by those raccoons, and that's what got me into grad school, that essay.
Life works in beautiful ways, doesn't it? That's gorgeous. Look at that. Ah.
Anyway, I don't even know where we are in this episode. It's your turn, right?
It is mine. I have a story about a water park because that's very summery.
Fun! Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, I love that. Okay.
It's called Haunted Water Park. Very to the point.
Classic.
And it's from user Let's Get This Rice.
Cool.
All right, so I literally downloaded Reddit so I can vent about this because I could get fired if I talk about it.
Ooh.
Strong start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strong opening. I find myself compelled. Okay. So
yeah, way better than my raccoon essay.
I wonder if this person went to grad school.
It's never too late.
I'm a lifeguard at a water park in Las Vegas. We always brag about how, unlike our competition, we have had 0 casualties at the current location. Stuff always happens, like tubes will appear in the pool after we just took all of them out and stacked them. Chairs will move around after we just sorted them. And wet footsteps will appear on concrete when no one was wet, etc. We joke that we don't get paid enough to fight demons. It was just a joke to us, but not to our supervisors or managers. They always made excuses. It was always the wind, or I moved it, or, oh, those are my footprints. And they always got angry at us and said that someone could overhear us and complain. They even went as far as to threaten us with defamation lawsuits if we talked about it on social media. Weird, right? If the park wasn't haunted, why would they care so much about us talking about it?
Yep.
I feel like we've talked about that before, yeah.
Always the best gauge of how haunted a place is.
I never cared because I believed my supervisors and managers. Maybe they did move the chairs. Maybe they dipped their feet in the pool and walked away. That was until last month. It was 10 p.m., and we had just finished cleaning the park. I had to stay later because I was getting a ride from my supervisor, Ryan. We were the only people left in the park, so we were doing a final walkthrough just to make sure everything was clean. We only had a flashlight and a few light posts illuminating our path around the park. We were walking by some slides when I hear someone, a woman, say, "Hello?" I looked at Ryan, who didn't seem to hear it. Then I heard her again. "Hello?" I freaked out, and Ryan, again, didn't seem to hear it. "Did you not hear that?" I said to Ryan, all caps. He shrugged and continued walking. I stopped and said I didn't want to do the walkthrough with him. He rolled his eyes and said that if I didn't, I am refusing to work, which isn't a good thing to say to your supervisor. Fuck off, Ryan. That's not the story. That's from Gina directly. He told me I was probably just hearing things. I got a hold of myself and I continued walking. We started getting to the back of the park where the light posts were dimmer and it was much quieter since we were further away from the running water in the slides. Ryan and I started talking about school and college and what we were going to do when the season ends when I heard it again, but it sounded closer this time. "Hello? Is anyone there?" She sounded very confused and tired. I jumped, and again, Ryan did not care at all. I was so freaked out, I started feeling nauseous. I wanted to go home, but Ryan was my ride home, so I had to stay. What happened next haunts me. After we heard the voice, we heard what sounded like someone climbing out of the lazy river soaking wet. No one else was there. If they were, they would be in the office. No one should be swimming. Ryan was angry because he thought a lifeguard snuck into the river, so he turned around and started yelling, "What the fuck? Go home. This isn't funny." And then he froze. I said a quick prayer and turned around. There was a lady soaking wet, wearing a park shirt with our logo on it, but the logo looked very 2000s. I know what our shirts look like. I stand in the shop all the time to get some AC, and I have never seen that shirt. She was hunched over, and her hair covered her face. She spoke again. "Hello, can you help me?" Ryan grabbed my arm, and we bolted to the office. Lifeguards weren't allowed inside the office ever. It's like a whole thing, but he let me come inside. He pulled one of the managers into the supply room and shut the door. Another supervisor started asking me if I was okay because I was breathing heavily and I couldn't speak, but I nodded yes. Ryan and the manager came out of the room, and Ryan grabbed his stuff and said, "Let's go." We got in his car, and he said we needed to stop by the gas station first. And when we pulled in, he told me to type my address in his phone while he pumped gas. When he got in the car, I broke the silence. What the fuck was that? What happened? He turned the car on and started driving. "I can't tell anyone," he said. "It's like a park secret, but I'll tell you if you swear you won't tell anyone else." I swore, and he said, "Back in 2002, before this location of the park was built, there was a park on the Strip. It was the only water park in Vegas, and we only had one casualty, and it was a lady who came in with her family. She got drunk and went into the lazy river where she sank to the bottom of the water, and because there were so many tubes, the lifeguard didn't see her, and she drowned. That's why we have so many lifeguards for the river and why our tubes are all see-through." "So is that her?" I said. "Yeah," he replied. I asked, "Why is she here?" And Ryan said, "I don't know. She's probably confused. She's always asking for help." And I said, "So you did hear her?"
Oh my God.
And Ryan said, "Yeah, but everyone does when you're at the park late at night. It's a whole different story if you see her." So I asked, "What happens if you see her?" To which he replied, "Nothing, but it's scary." I hate this Ryan guy.
Dude, Ryan sucks.
Ryan is the
Dude.
worst. He gives
Ryan-
like the energy of when you're working a minimum wage job and your supervisor cares way too fucking much and expects you to care just as much as they do.
Dude, fuck
That
Ryan.
energy. Yeah,
Yes.
fuck Ryan.
Oh my God.
The car ride was silent the rest of the way. I still work at the park, but Ryan talked to the managers and convinced them to let me only work morning shifts. Ryan quit recently due to college. I've only told 2 coworkers, but only because they have had experiences themselves. Thanks for letting me vent. And also, please appreciate lifeguards and all of the shit we go through. That
That's
poor
fucked
woman being ignored.
The fact that Ryan like knows about this, I feel like there are things you can do to help, like, help her, I guess. I don't know.
Something. Try, like, put in any amount of try.
It's not like she wants to still be there.
And also the fact that he was like, "No, I don't hear it," like lying to the other person.
Yeah,
too.
what a douche.
Like, yeah, no, I don't. I'm not a fan of Ryan. How creepy is that?
Yeah,
though?
Ryan sucks. That's very scary. That's like the scariest type when they're actually interacting with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's scary because it's also sad. You know, those are the worst ones.
And I haven't been to a water park since I was like a little kid. I don't think I'll be returning anytime soon.
No. One thing that I'm very grateful for is we were not a water park family.
Mm.
I've been to a water park one time. I like met a friend at Wisconsin Dells one time, like
That's
as
what,
an
yeah.
adult.
Hmm.
And yeah, we were never a water park family.
I think we
Yeah.
went to one or two. We went to the Dells when I was a little kid, and every now and
Hmm.
then someone would have. There was a hotel near us that had a little mini water park in it. Every now
Hmm.
and then a kid would have like a birthday party there or something. But
Yeah, I have this memory of I feel like maybe we went to Wisconsin Dells once when I was little because I remember being at this hotel with a lot of slides in it. Like, it was not your average hotel pool. You know what I mean? It
mm,
was like a whole thing. So like maybe they took us there once and just we were pretending that this hotel pool with all the slides
yeah.
was the water park because that was just yeah, we just did not. Yeah, that was just not for us. Which I'm fine. I'm not a water park girly. I was never like I
I mean,
didn't
neither.
like that feeling. I don't like the feeling of just hanging out in a wet swimsuit.
No, I like I like the ocean though. Not
Me too. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
a water girl. I'm not necessarily a pool
Yeah,
person.
agreed.
Yeah.
Definitely agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, a very quick one. Just
Sweet.
I wasn't sure what vibe we were bringing, so I wanted to end on a really cute, fun note just in
Oh,
case it was
perfect.
dark.
Okay. Good idea. Jeez.
This is very, very quick. This was a response to a question, and I believe it was just the straight up summer camp subreddit. I don't remember. But this was a response to a question asking if anyone's summer camp had any fun folklore/urban legends that they shared with the kids. And this response I just thought was super cute. It's from Compulsive Planter. It says, our lake was man-made and used to be a cow pasture. You could even still see the remains of the old barn in the middle of the lake. Because of this, it is well known that our lake is home to mercows, which are exactly what you think. Anytime you hear a loon on the lake, it's actually a mercow.
Are
Isn't
you
that cute?
serious? That's a thing?
Yeah. Is that so
Dude,
fun?
that's
What a
so
cute story.
cute. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I need to go back and edit the mermaid episode to talk about
Yeah.
how not only do they live underwater, they they figured out agriculture. They have cows. They animal husbandry.
Yes.
Oh, I love that so. I've never thought about that before. That there
I
could be
know. Is that
mere
cute?
other things.
Yeah. And if you think of like a loon on the lake, that definitely sounds like it could be an aquatic cow.
I don't actually know what a loon sounds like.
Oh, it sounds like an aquatic cow.
Like I go, oh, okay. It
Yeah,
might be
they
one of those things
literally,
where I've heard
yeah.
it. I just don't know that's the name.
You've definitely, if you've been on a lake anywhere around here, you've heard a loon. It's like a high-pitched moo.
You
Is
don't want
like
to.
now that I know about mercows, that is a way to describe it. Yeah.
You don't want to give me an example.
No, I sure don't. I already did the
All
morning
right,
dove. You're not
all
going
right,
to get
yeah,
me with loon.
I thought I would try. I thought I would try.
Nice try. It was worth a try.
Well, that was fun. I feel like we've been sitting around a
Yeah.
campfire telling each other spooky stories, and that is very
Yeah,
summery.
absolutely. If you all have any stories you want to send us, send them over to icecreamuscreampod@gmail.com. But before I continue the closing, we have to tell you what we're doing next
Oh,
month, 'cause we
yeah,
didn't do that in
damn.
the last episode.
Oh, I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah. Okay, wait. We actually have a shout out for someone for this month for having the most brilliant idea that we could possibly have come up with, which I will tell you in a second. Because first, I'm going to tell you that the topic we are covering is bodies of water. And the flavor we're doing is, you guessed it, friends, we are finally having floats. Have we talked about it enough? We're having floats. Get it? Floats, body of water? We didn't. So shout out to Raina, our loyal listener, for sharing that with us. We had bodies of water on the schedule for this month, and we had a totally different ice cream idea in mind. But then after the most recent episode where we were yammering on about how much we want to do floats and just still have not done it, Raina messaged us to let us know, wouldn't it be a great idea if you did bodies of water and floats? Unbeknownst to her, we
Genius.
already had bodies of water literally for the next month. So yeah, shout out to Raina. We immediately updated our schedule
Yep.
for this far more brilliant idea than whatever we had. I don't even remember what we had.
I think it was Italian ice, which we still might do someday.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, actually, I do think we can bump that to another month. We'll do it eventually. This is going to be our new floats. Now that we're doing floats, we're going to talk about Italian ice now. Yeah. So yeah, join us with a float for Bodies of Water starting next week. And if you enjoyed this episode or any of our other episodes, please leave us a rating and or review wherever you listen. That really helps us out. And if you want more from us each month, join us on Patreon. And until next time, Little Spoons, keep it cool.
Keep it creepy.